This is a reading for 2026, the year of the Wheel of Fortune, the Major Arcana card 10, and the card number 1, the Magician. So, how is the Magician going to lay out the cards for us today? How is he going to spin the Wheel of Fortune? I ask all my guides, my spirit guides, my inspirers, my teachers, the higher beings, the angels, our ancestors, the elementals, and the star beings to be here now so we may know what we need to know today. May they help me cut the deck. As above, so below. And it is all. And the top card is the card that is the center of all at the moment for us in the human family. We are looking outside of ourselves this year. We are looking to new places, new locations. We are looking to make changes outside of our lives because most of us, or many of us on the planet, know that this life cannot proceed as we have created it. Now, some of us are thinking, let's set up home on the moon. Let's set up home on Mars. Let's just move countries. But those of us that have awareness and deep consciousness are aware that it is going from a place of outer searching to inner searching. We need to recognize that when we look outside of ourselves, we lose something, the deeper wisdom. So, this is the center of what we are working with. And this is the consequence of this particular investigation, exploration, the karma that we have this year. It is the conflict that this creates of not being happy where we are. We are polluting the earth. We are polluting our relationships, our bodies. There are many ways that we need to clear out and purify and find more kind and compassionate ways to relate to each other and to create a sense of human family. If not, it causes an inner turmoil, keeps us awake at night. We find ourselves running off with what we can hold on to. Let's just take what we have. Let's accept the way things are. Let's hope no one notices when we behave in a certain way. Let's just run off and leave the circus behind. But when we do that, when we leave the circus behind, we're leaving behind the joy and the fun, and we take our thoughts with us, our ideas, our dynamic energy, as a way of saying, okay, let's capture things just for me. This is going to be part of 2026 for all of us. We need to look at how we are taking for ourselves. It is essential to look after ourselves and our family first before we look after others, otherwise we cannot survive. And there is a way of recognizing that there is always a transaction. There is always a giving and receiving, no matter what. But there is a way to be transactional in a fair way. And that again, the big corporations, the financial systems, the political systems, the educational systems, the medical systems, they need to reform. They need to look at what a true transaction and an equal transaction is. Because at the foundation of this issue is a lack of integrity. This will come up more and more in this year. So the way I read it is that this is the past and this is the present. It was traditionally the other way around. This is the way I read it because this creates the future that we have here. It's very much connected, so it's always felt better that way and made more sense. So this is where we've come from. We've come from a place, again, as a human family, and I include myself in this, of isolation And we've gone into a state of isolation. All the pubs are closed, all the community centres have been shut down. People don't really travel much to go to theatre or to go out for dinner even that often. You know, post COVID, we all learnt to be alone, didn't we? Well, 2026 is a time to say goodbye to that. We've found the inner knowledge, and that light now is light that we're taking out to the rest of the world, to bring what we've learned, although it was cold and isolating, and take it elsewhere, into community, into balance. This is the Temperance card. It's a beautifully healing card. And it's a card where the angel, she stands both on the earth and the water. So she is able to integrate those two elements, the earth and the water. And she knows her path, the path to glory. And she is enlightened. You can see that around that crown of light above her head. She knows that integration and balance is the reason why and how we heal. So we are moving into a healing journey in the earth, on the earth. All of us, we are all united, we are all connected. We are not just humans in isolation from everything else. We are humans in unity with everything else. So now we look at the card of who we are essentially. And we are, as a whole, as a human community in total, the Queen of Wands. Our nature is to be fiery. Our nature is to know what's right, to know that we need to grow ideas, we need to grow the community, we need to grow humans. We have the impulses to reproduce, we have the impulses to travel, to explore, to create, but we are ultimately the co-creators with spirit. And we need to recognize that we are not helpless. We can make the world a better place. We can make our own lives better. This is the place of home. And it is the King of Wands. And that's so interesting because we've got the divine feminine and the divine masculine as the creators. We are the creators. Planet Earth is the masculine expression of the Wands element, the element of fire. It is through the earth, through the breath, the oxygen, it's through the iron in our blood, it is through all the aspects of the natural world that enable us to be alive. It is what gives us energy. And the Wands is about fire. The Wands is about our energy, our dynamism, our sun. Without the sun, we cannot exist. We live within the sunbeams of the sun. Just like plants, we thrive and we grow in the sun. This is our home. This is fears and dreams. Different people interpret this position on the Celtic cross, the third card up, in different ways. But it's always the polarities that we're looking at here. And the fact that what we are afraid of is also what we desire. And this is all about indecision. So we are afraid to not make a change. We are afraid not to stand in our power, stand in our fire, to feel the sunlight on our faces, to dynamically move forward in the areas we choose to go further into the human family, to work together. We both fear that and we want that. It's the indecisiveness of, well, it's actually quite nice not to have to make a decision about who I am and what I need to do in this world and what's my authentic place in the world and what's my destiny. But it's also something that I want. So it's this indecisiveness that is holding us back, that can also be an invitation and a gateway into moving forward. This is very interesting because we have two cards. We have a Two of Pentacles and we have Two of Swords together, one after the other. And this one was in the third position, which is hopes and fears. This is the position of the outcome. And my guides know that I never read the outcome as just one card. I always add cards to it. I usually add 2 or 3 cards to the outcome because it's never simple as it seems. But the outcome is that through 2026, we are going to be weighing up options because we don't have all the information. You see, we're blind. The moon is small. Even the tide has gone out. We don't have all the information. So this is a time of gathering. The wheel of fortune is spinning. It doesn't stop spinning in 2026. It will stop in 2027. And that's when we will have the outcome. We will have the answer to where the wheel is stopping and what is happening. So we are gathering our energy, the wands. We are also building relationships. We're also coming into our power. We're opening up. So 2026 may not be a year of final solutions, of absolutes. We are still in a position of not knowing. There is conflict this year. And that conflict, or perhaps it's even completion of a conflict, because that card can sometimes be that the battles are already over and the swords are laid down on the ground, even though some are still held. So let's look at that in relation to those other cards and the ones that come after. Queen of Swords. So we have 3 swords here, and then we have the Empress. So those 3 swords, we have the 2 of Swords. So it's this sense of indecision. We don't have the answers. We know we've been fighting. It's been 2025 was a struggling year. It was a difficult year. There were fights. There was conflict. There was difficulty. So we have this indecisiveness, this not knowing. But we do know that there has been conflict, that we have laid down our swords. And hopefully we will see that in 2026, that all the swords that have been up in the air, that have been flying around so violently in the last few years, are put down. Let's hope for that. That will be wonderful. We still have this Queen of Swords to work with. The Queen of Swords comes through and is the queen of discernment. She swipes away all that is not wanted. She draws a line under things. She also is the energy field, the battery that pushes forward. It's the air sign, the sign of thinking things through. So we have the basis of the Queen of Wands, who we know we are, who we've been working with, this creative force, but we move in more into the Aquarian age, the Aquarian way of thinking and moving forward. And this is an interesting connection, that it is the Queen of Swords that becomes the Empress this year. So we start to have harvest and abundance from this knowledge, this Uranian knowledge, this air knowledge, this knowledge of thinking. It can be to do with AI, computers and such like. We're going to see a lot of abundance of that. But it's also this capability of discernment and saying, okay, enough is enough. We need to move forward and we need to start to build a sustainable family, not just for the humans, but for the whole world. We have a beautiful crop of wheat here, and she's has it in front of her and underneath her. It is what guides her. It is the crop that is her knowledge, the seasons, how the crop grows, the nourishment. You see all the nourishment around her. This is all about Venus. It's all about beauty. It's all about the mother. She is the wise one. So let's call in the beautiful Empress for this year, and that throughout this Wheel of Fortune year, as we see the wheel turn, as we fight for a better truth, a more authentic life in community as humans, creating a sustainable world for those that come after us, our children, our children's children. That's what the Empress does. So Happy New Year. Have a wonderful 2026.